All right, let's see how this is going to go. All right, 1979 Camaro Z28 uh, dashboard bezel instrument panels. So we'll start with what you can see when you start taking this apart, or what you can see when you have it in the car. So you have this, and then this sits over top. Let's see here. So basically, if it was in the car, this is what you would see, right? So this is pretty easy to uninstall. So if we start with this one here, we have 4 screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. So as you can see them here, let's see, yeah, you can see them there. So, and then you have your wiper, your wipers. Then that plugs into an adapter, or not an adapter, but plugs into something. And then your lights, and that one, there's a plug that goes in here. So these are pretty simple. The tricky part is this one here. This is the lighter, and there's a clip, and then what it does is it fastens onto here. There's that. So we have that. So that one's out. Once that's out, you get the instrument cluster. That's what you're looking at in the car. There's screws for the glass part, or the plastic part. So you can see them here. You know, one screw there, one screw there. Those are easy to come out as well, and then the whole thing just pops out. So what I had difficulty with was removing the instrument cluster. Why? Because it's held, like, there's wires coming in here, right? So it holds it in place. There's a connection here, so you can see this kind of a flimsy looking plastic piece, but that's actually where the electricity goes through. You can see the copper connections. So it's pretty interesting to see what they did, you know, back in 1979. And if I twist this, there's a light bulb right here, right? So you can see the copper connection right here. It's kind of neat. Kind of neat what engineers come up with, and when you click it in, it establishes a connection. It's kind of cool. So there's a bunch of these lights here. I'm thinking that because the lights are so dim, it's because the copper and the connection's not being made properly, so the electricity is not it's not optimal. I especially notice it with my turn signals. This one here. I don't know if it's dirty, or just not making a connection properly, or maybe the signal's not coming through here. It looks kind of dirty, but I mean, I don't know. I don't do these things. So here's another. Here's the speedometer cable. It also has a pin, so a holder. So when you press on it, you can reach in and you can press on this, and then the thing will release. So then this one here, it's a couple of clamps. They're not clamps, but you pinch them in and then it pops out. I had difficulty with this because it is very rigid. So it took me a little bit to press in, and then, you know, be able to pop it out. And this one here is for the clock. I'm going to check the clock to see if there's electricity that goes through. As we know, a lot of these clocks, I mean, they worked for the first few years or however many, and then they just stopped working. So it's either the mechanism, or you know, there's no power for some reason. What else is there? So that's pretty much it. I mean, the fuel gauge is electric, so you don't have to worry about any connections there. There's a connection here for the battery. So you can see, let me just turn this around for you. So there's the battery, and there's a connector back here. And then the speedometer cable right here. We already covered the RPMs and the rest of the electronics to feed in for the circuits, so that the lights will go on. And then there's the clock, and then there's no connection out here. So what I was afraid of was when I was starting to pull this out, the wires were holding it, and I was like, well, geez, if I pull this out, is this going to break? Well, it didn't. There was enough flexibility. I mean, I didn't yank on it hard because I didn't want to break anything, but I was able to pull it out. And the more I disconnected things like the battery, removed that connection, the speedometer cable, once I got that out, then it became really loose, and I was able to kind of twist it and turn it and move it inside the dash. I didn't really remove the dash. I didn't have to. What I did though is I removed the steering wheel, and that gave me a lot more flexibility. So let me show you that. Let me show you inside after. All right, so we're back. So I just wanted to show you inside the instrument cluster here. So like I said, I removed the steering wheel. It gave me a lot of room here, and then I was able to undo the bezel itself. This is the outside portion, and then obviously the instrument cluster goes in here. Here's the one I was telling you about. I was having a bit of a difficulty because it's rather stiff, and it fits in quite tightly. But you can see that, so here's the speedometer cable. That's the one where you just remove the pin. Here's this is the lighter. So the lighter also has a clip. You can see, let's see here. See, it has these little clips, so you have to kind of pry it apart, and it can be cut. It was a little difficult, but the nice thing is that swiveled, right? The nice thing is that this one swiveled, so I was able to get that out. This one was fairly easy. Just pull it out. The thing is, it goes. This one's up and down, so I was able to undo the tab on the top. But the bottom one, I wasn't really able to do it. But I kind of wiggled it to be able to undo it. So that worked out. This is the clock. So that one was pretty easy. And here's the other side. So here's the other side where there's a light. This is the lights, and this is the windshield wipers connection. So what else can I show you? So that's about it. It was pretty easy to take out. The reason why I was taking it out is because I had a kit that I wanted to replace the clock, and I figured I'd give it a try. But now that I have it out, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to replace the clock, or if I'm going to go with some new Dakota digital package, or some other digital package. So it's rather expensive to be able to replace that. I mean, I would keep it because there's nothing wrong with the instrument cluster or anything. So the thing that you may notice, let me just flip this around first. So you see these extended lights or pieces of plastic. Well, that's the turn signals. And what happens is that the turn signal, the light will actually shine through here, make its way through. But over time, it's gotten really, really weak. So the light's not getting, is either not getting enough voltage to be able to shine it light enough, because I can't tell. If I have my turn signal on, I can't tell, which is, one of the advantages of having a newer instrument cluster. So, but that's about it. Hope this was helpful. This is Ken Lacroix from Bricolor Real Estate Investment Group. Yes, I'm not talking about real estate this time. I am talking about what I'm doing with my own car. Talk to you later. Be good, be humble, be kind, fly.